radar says the heavy stuff still a few hours away, but snow is falling as we near kickoff at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. All the success in New England over the last few decades, and this crowd has never been more enthusiastic. A moment ago, the Pats emerged from their locker room. They are set as they'll square off with the Minnesota Vikings. Set for football now from snowy Massachusetts. And we are underway in Foxborough. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now Jones, eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. He's got it at the 15. And he's finally taken down, but not before he reaches the 14. A big play there on the first play of the game.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Throwing Jones. That swung out wide to Harris. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that'll make this a second down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game. And you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Yeah, this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Here's Jones on 3rd down, sliding out of the pocket. It's caught on the right side at Smith. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, it has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. Jones buying time to his left. And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. Corey Davis with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Patriots drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point through the snowflakes, something good. And that makes the score 7-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
From the 16, Mond. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. From the pistol, they run it with Cook. He'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach. Let's face it, this season certainly has not gone the way many had expected or at least hoped. And I think we saw some of that frustration boil over in his weekly press conference earlier this week.
Yeah, we certainly did, didn't we? Because, let's face it, he's heard the whispers, and they're growing louder that he shouldn't be around next year. He essentially stormed out of that meeting you just referenced with the reporters. How did he end it? We're done here. Well, that's a function of losing and all the pressure that's on him. Hear about pressure creating diamonds? In this case, it's bursting the pipes of the coach.
We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And the Patriots take over. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Off the play fake. Jones. Flush to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. You know, Charles, for this defense, look, it's no secret. You're facing a team that is really, really struggling. They haven't won in what seems like forever, but sometimes a desperate team can be a dangerous team, right?
You're exactly right about that, but they shouldn't be. When they're on that type of a losing streak, it's incumbent upon you to take charge of this game early and not give them any reason to hope. Get out and attack them and make sure you knock them back on their butts.
On second down now. It's Harris, and he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 46.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Back to throw. Jones flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there for New England.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
On second and goal, they'll give it to him again. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Damian Harris with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. Extra point safely through. And that'll make the score 14-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Mon looks to throw. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now a 1st down carry for Harris. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Some people been playing defense in this one. There's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Operating from the gun, Jones, and that's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Looking to throw. Jones. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Christian Wilkins drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down. And this one is right through. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. The result's not great thus far. A punt on the first drive and an interception last time out.
Now, let's face it, every team wants to come out on the field and play with some confidence, play some tempo, play with some rhythm. And when you're making those types of mistakes, you're not getting any of that put together.
So what do you say, time to get back to the basics for them?
In a lot of ways, yes, but the biggest one, of course, is finding people who will take care of the football and make a few plays. You got to have a drive now that calms down the entire team.
Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Off play action. Jones escaping the pressure right. And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. Corey Davis, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Patriots are able to add on to their first half lead. And it's no good on the PAT, so they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. So with a missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mom, nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. The pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The defense rising to the challenge and sending him back on the sand. The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. And taken at the 46. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Patriots will have great starting position as they take over 1st and 10. Around the NFL, a game going on in Washington. And it's Washington out to an early lead. And we'll try and keep you updated on those events and others around the league as we continue through this one. Now Jones throwing on first down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Smith. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Jones on first and 10. Steps away to his left. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again, Jones. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football, and the Vikings pick up the football. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And they are going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. No going for two. They'll kick the point after. And that makes it 23-7. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Pats at the line ready to go. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. They go play action here on first down. And bringing it in, it's Davis. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Off the play fake, Jones. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Jump under pressure, and they got to him again. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
You'd have to imagine, given the snowy condition, lots to talk about at halftime for these two coaching staffs. Plenty of decisions to be made for this second half for sure. And for the call, we hand it back over to Brandon Gaudin.
Indeed, Coach, thanks very much. And that snow you alluded to showing no signs of stopping, at least in the foreseeable future. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This one taken just inside the 10. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start calling back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
Mond now off of play action. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the Patriots are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing. They're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
Jones throw there, taken in by Smith. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They hand this off to Harris. And some space here. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 42 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Off play action. Jones. Flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Patriots add on to their lead. A try here for the extra point. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now.
Makes the score.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. From the 6. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4's kind of, you're like, oh. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 30. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field, going all the way back to the opening drive. Touchdown!
It's complete. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Pats take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And the lead is now an even 30. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Takes it at the 7. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time, one-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 2nd and 2. They run it again with Cook. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on 3rd down. And they go play action here. Mond. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It's the former Michigan man, Chase Winovich, who gets in there to bring him down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big. And now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. 45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. New England with a 1st down as they begin the drive. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. On 2nd down, this is Harris. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. Well, speed is definitely a calling card if you play cornerback in this league, and he does a terrific job there of hustling in quickly to make the play.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
Pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Jones now to throw on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
That's an excellent job right there on third down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's fourth down.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 4 yards remain for second down. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the fourth quarter. Should rely more on the passing attack?
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off.